I want to start doing more book content, so I'm going to try and put up a video every week about a Wheel of Time hot take of mine. And to start off the series, I'm going to go very controversial. Gawain Trakand is not the dumbest person in the Wheel of Time series.
Fool this man!
The dumbest person in the series is Ilan Morin Tadronai, more commonly known as Ishamael. And today I'm going to convince you that I'm right about this.
I'm skeptical that you could, yet intrigued that you may.
I cannot emphasize enough how stupid this guy is.
You are the dumbest, smart person I have ever met in my life.
In the Wheel of Time, Ilan Tadronai was a famous philosopher in the Age of Legends. He hypothesized on the nature of time and the cycles of rebirth. In the course of his research, he got so far up his own ass that he managed to blackpill himself with nothing but his own homework.
You fucking nerd!
Now, to Ishamael's credit, he correctly accounted for there being a Wheel of Time and ages coming and going and the concepts of patterns and repetitions in his philosophical work. He then looked at his blackboard and concluded that defeat was inevitable. Surely, given infinite repetitions, the Dark One would eventually win one of these fights and the world would be doomed forever, right?
And they'll destroy us all to make it happen! Destroy us all! Destroy us all!
Except that Ishi made a bunch of mistakes that shit-tier philosophers always make. The first mistake he made is that he was both egotistical and mathematically retarded. Infinity is a hard concept to understand, but it's not so hard that a grad student at Age of Legends Harvard should be having a problem with it. Had he known a mathematician who could have explained the concept of infinity to him, he would have realized that everything he could fathom was this tiny little speck on this timeline, and that every other pixel to the left of this screen had already gone through the last battle and come out the other side victorious.
Yo, Adrian! I did it!
An infinite number of cycles and ages had already happened before his mother let a nitwit hit it raw and splooge inside of her. If the cycle is infinite as he perceived, the good guys had already won 999 bajillion times in a row in order for him to be standing in front of that chalkboard drooling all over the tile. The light winning is the definition of a sustainable and predictable outcome. If you're looking at FanDuel and you can get even odds on the Harlem Globetrotters with a record of 999 bajillion wins and 0 losses, you have to be an absolute retard to put your money on the Washington Generals. Elon here bet his entire soul for eternity on the Washington Generals.
You were literally too stupid to insult.
The only possible way you can make this kind of mistake is if you're high as a kite on your own farts. Ishi thought he was such a special snowflake that he was going to swing the outcome of the cosmic chess match between the Creator and the Dark One. Unlike the 999 bajillion other people in the 999 bajillion other repetitions of this cycle. Gawain Trakand may have been raised on a steady diet of lead paint chips and the mercury that dripped out of broken thermometers, but he never got close to this level of stupidity.
It's fucking embarrassing!
The second mistake that Elon made is that, like most college edgelords, the man didn't stop for a minute to consider the will of the Creator or contemplate the concept of divine intervention.
Well, first of all, through God, all things are possible, so jot that down.
He sat there in his classroom and went,
Obviously the devil exists, but God? Don't be ridiculous. I don't believe in an imaginary sky daddy.
I assume he then went and posted a bunch of safe, edgy memes on the Age of Legends equivalent of Our Atheists and spent the rest of the night trying to convince people that true communism had never been tried yet.
And I'm sensing you're a bit of a bitch.
The third mistake that Elon made is that he forgot that not everybody in the universe is a fucking beta male like he was.
As a beta male, not an alpha male. Beta male, yes.
He was faced with a problem. The Dark One was out and starting to impact the world. There was an army of Shadowspawn running around having mostly peaceful protests, but rather than strapping up and trying to deal with the problem like a grown-ass man, he instead decided to team up with the devil because he was scared and fighting is hard.
Ha! Gay!
And before anybody says that I'm being too harsh on Ishi because he had his third name in the Age of Legends, let me stop you right there. He got his third name for his academic contributions. Academics, the people, are retarded. The smartest teachers in America teach second grade. Academia pretends Hannah Nicole Jones is a historian of note and has let John Money's butchery of children become the foundational concept of child psychology in the third decade of the 21st century.
I've often been quoted as saying I would rather be governed by the first 2,000 people in the Boston telephone directory than by the 2,000 people on the faculty of Harvard University.
Gadfly fiction, Jordan Peterson and Brandon Sanderson are the only people in academia in North America who don't deserve to be shoved in a locker. And I just finished reading Elantris, so Sanderson is currently on probation.
Hey there! Your book sucks.
I firmly maintain that Ishii is inspired by neoclassical nihilist edgelord philosophy students and professors that Jordan was surrounded by when he was studying physics at the Citadel in the early 70s. Imagine spending the last 4 years of your life watching your friends die in the jungles of Vietnam, then you come back to America and go to college. You go from slaying communists to slaying co-ed pussy, and a bunch of 19-year-olds who had never left suburban South Carolina are lecturing you about how soul-crushing and depressing they believe life to be. It's a miracle he only made them the villain in his story and didn't beat one of these nerds to death in front of the student union.
Look at him. He's trying. He's actually trying. What a nerd. Look at the nerd. Look at the nerd. Look at him. Look at the nerd.
Who you calling a nerd, man?
I'm sorry, what?
Oh! Shit, dude.
I hate Ishamael. He's a genuine idiot and the most annoying sort of idiot. The kind of idiot who doesn't realize he's an idiot and other idiots think is actually intelligent. Jordan perfectly demonstrates Ishamael's broken philosophies while pointedly ripping them apart. He is ontologically correct that the only thing that comes out of listening to nonsensical, nihilistic ramblings are ambivalent bystanders, callous psychopaths, and petty narcissistic little villains. Don't be an idiot. Don't fall for it. The world isn't hopeless. Go outside, touch grass, give your mom a call, schedule a fishing trip with the boys. Remember the veins of gold. Thank you for watching.